Welcome to part 2 of this series, this 360 check-in after the Easter break, where we really get some lovely evidence to digest, to explore, to pull apart. And this is a point that most people don't want to do because they just want to keep focusing on the goal and going to the next thing and off we go. However, there is so much greatness to be found within this information that we have available. And if you can be brave enough to look, to stop, to feel, to pause, to check in, to really see what the truth of this is, especially with the money, it's going to serve you so well. And it's actually going to change the direction, the pace, the growth, the trajectory of your 2016. So let's talk about the money. Let's talk about where you are right now at this point in 2026. Is it feeling good? Is it feeling like you've got ease and flow? Have you got predictability? Do you know where your money's coming from? Have you got money in your bank account? Is your relationship with selling feeling good? Do you like your products and your services that you have on your website? I want you to check in. And if you want to go deeper on this, by the way, I highly advise you come over and do Create Your Income Pie. There are 3 ways to join. You can do an online course version, or options 2 and 3 have a one-on-one experience with me as well. I want you to think about this weekend and the other interactions that you've maybe had with people recently, friends, family. Maybe you've had a weekend away, maybe you've met friends for a cup of tea or a lunch in the pub. I want you to think about how you've been talking about your business. And I want you to pull in all the phrases that maybe are your default settings, your go-to. We're amazing at this, you know. We can really pull together a little tagline, a little neat way of pulling it all together. But today we're going to be undoing them and looking at them. So there might be some people, for example, let me talk about actors. So if you're ever in a waiting room, people might have a conversation whilst they're waiting to be seen. Like, how's it been? How's your year been? Have you been casting a lot? And one of the things that people may say, if they haven't, is they might have these stock phrases of like, yeah, I mean, I have been available, obviously, to go for things, but nobody's making anything anymore. Full stop. Nobody is making anything anymore. And on one hand, you might go, oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Like, there's been a writer's strike, there was COVID, there was all these sorts of different things. But that is not the full picture. And yet, it's a convenient picture if you haven't been seen for things, if you haven't been furthering your career. Now, I know that not all of those things are down to people's control, but there are some people who are moving through business at the moment, and they are, yeah, I'm going to say it, they are borrowing narratives from other sources that they can slot in to their own progress, instead of actually analyzing what they need to do. Because we can say things such as, let's use another example. I don't even know what the algorithm is doing right now. Like, there's no point really posting anything because my people are never going to see it anyway. And then what happens? They are let off the hook. They don't need to put themselves out there because they've already built a narrative to protect them. So therefore, they don't post anything. Therefore, their business doesn't grow. And therefore, they have that moment where it's like, oh my goodness, let's blame the algorithm then, instead of blaming ourselves. And again, I've been there. I have been there. I'm not coming to you from a like, okay, I'm going to tell you about yourself and what I think it is. I'm sharing 2 very real life examples here. I want you also to think about how you're feeling about your pricing, your packaging, the money that's coming in, the work that you're doing in order to receive that money? Does it feel congruent? Does it feel reflective of what you're doing? Does it feel reflective of your skill set, of your experience, of what you can bring to the table, your value? Or is it outdated? Or are you doing a panic price where you go, oh, I don't know, I'll do that because hopefully then somebody will buy it? Always, we want to go back to being intentional and really thinking about the design of your business. Designing your business is not just about who you are and what you do and the services that you offer. It's designing everything. For example, if you think about an interior designer, they're not just designing the space so it looks good on a piece of paper. They want that space to come to life. They want that light fitting to be in the correct position. They want the angle of the sofa to be able to really sit in the direction of the TV. Like, they're thinking about how people are going to work in that space. And that's what I want you to do in terms of the way that you're making money. Because there is no point working all the hours all throughout the year to get to a stage where you have some time off and you still can't do what you want to do. Or you're still stressed about your business, or you can't switch off, or it's never enough. You always feel like you're in go mode, or the time that you have available off, you can't do anything because you don't have that income to support that. I would love you to really take this time as we are now in quarter 2 and think about how the first 3 months of the year were. Were you enjoying what you were doing? Were you successful at it? Were you getting inquiries about certain products rather than others? What do you need to sell right now? Which direction are you going in? And I want you to be discerning. I want you to be considered in your approach. Because if you're not going to meet the money goals that not only you want to and that you should do, but I'm going to also assume that you are capable of so much more. And yet, when you're in that worried period, and I have been there, absolutely, that's why I'm saying it from me to you. When you're in that state of where's the money coming from? How am I going to do this? And always being in go mode, it's really, really difficult to really lean into your potential, whether that's in the kind of money you can make, whether that's your creativity, whether that's being the most vibrant version of yourself. It's really difficult to do that. And so I would love you to stop, to take a pause, to think about what you actually want. And maybe you need to close some things down or just pause certain things at the time and get back in a flow, get back in a state where it's like, okay, I actually don't need to be doing all of these things right now. I need to get some cash into my business. I need to remember who I am and what I do, and I need to build my confidence again. Okay, so instead of being all the things to all the people, I'm going to close those or pause them for a moment and go here and focus on this and get this right and really get into the flow again. You know, when you hear exercise gurus, for example, they you don't need to change your own life. Why don't you do a half an hour walk every day? Guess what? By Friday, you feel 100 times better, because just taking that step and nailing that, then you have capacity to do the next things from there. I would love to see you back here again tomorrow. Let me know how you get on with this. If you want more help and support, come on over to nikkiraby.com/money and do create your income pie. Or I've got a brand new shorter course, I guess. It's got 5 workshops within it called Activate and Illuminate. I will leave both details down below and I'll see you in there. Lots of love.